Most people think massive success comes from massive effort. But what if the real advantage was almost invisible? Something so small you'd barely notice it happening. Yet if you repeated it every day for a year, the result wouldn't be twice as good. It wouldn't even be 10 times better. It would be 37 times better. And the strange part? This isn't motivation. It's math. It's a simple principle, backed by math and neuroscience, that explains how tiny improvements, stacked daily, unlock potential most people never reach. You've probably experienced this. You set a goal, get fit, learn a new skill, build something meaningful. At first, you're motivated, but the progress is invisible. The scale barely moves. Your skills don't feel different. The mountain in front of you looks exactly the same. And after a few weeks of invisible progress, you quit. Not because you're lazy, but because the human brain struggles to keep going when effort doesn't produce a visible reward. And then something worse happens. You start telling yourself a story. Maybe I'm not built for this. Maybe it's too late. Maybe I'm just not that kind of person. But here's the truth. Most people don't fail because their goals are too big. They fail because progress at the beginning is almost impossible to see. But what if I told you the key to real progress starts with a number so small, it almost sounds like a joke? Here's where the math gets interesting. If you improve just 1% each day, something surprising happens. The progress doesn't happen in a straight line. It happens exponentially. After a year, that tiny daily improvement adds up to something much bigger. 1.01 to the power of 365 equals 37. That means by the end of a year, you're 37 times better than where you started. It's the same compounding principle that powers finance, and now applied to your life. And neuroscience supports it. Every time you push slightly past your comfort zone, your brain releases norepinephrine, the chemical that signals this matters. It sharpens focus, it strengthens memory, and the brain begins strengthening the pathways connected to that action. Real skill development rarely happens in sudden breakthroughs. It happens through tiny adjustments, a little stress, a little recovery, a slight improvement. Then the cycle repeats. Now imagine two people, same starting point, same goal, same 24 hours in a day. One person decides to improve just 1% every day. The other waits until the perfect moment to make a big push. After 30 days, there's almost no visible difference. After 90 days, the first person is slightly ahead, but nothing dramatic. The second person finally tries to make big, hard changes, all at once. But it's exhausting. He burns out, falls back, and tells himself he'll try again later. But by day 365, the gap is impossible to ignore. And the difference isn't just results, it's identity. The first person now has 365 pieces of evidence that he showed up, evidence that he followed through, evidence that he's the kind of person who does the work. And that's the real power of the 1% rule. The goal was never the 1%. The goal was the person you slowly become along the way. Every small action becomes a vote for that identity. Most people wait until they feel like that person, but the people who actually change build that identity one small step at a time. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need to feel ready. You just need one rule. Be 1% better today than yesterday. Because tiny improvements don't just add up, they multiply. And over time, they multiply you. So here's a simple question. What's one small thing you could do today to get just 1% better? Not a complete life overhaul, just one small step. If something comes to mind, write it in the comments. And if you enjoy exploring ideas like this, the psychology of growth, habits, and performance, consider subscribing to Cognitive Edge. We break down one powerful idea like this every week. See you in the next one.